I was on a cruise recently. I don't know if you guys have had, you've been on some, yeah, they're fun, right? They're good vacations. I was on the biggest one, the biggest ship in North, that had over 6,000 passengers on it. Yeah, and plus there's 2,000 crews, so really that's 8,000 people on one ship. Yeah, it really is like a floating city at sea. So you know when a ship may be getting a little too big is when it actually has a bad neighborhood. Okay, I think that's maybe a good time to draw the line. But it's amazing what they have on the ships now. Like if you went on a cruise vacation years ago, you had what? Shuffleboard, ping pong, bingo, that was it. But today you go on ships, they have ice skating rinks on the ship, roller coasters, rock climbing, surfing, bowling. The one I was on had this giant street promenade down the middle. They had like bars and stores on either side, and like homeless people laying around and stuff. And traffic was awful. I couldn't get a cab all week. I think they went a little far when they put the Costco on board. Do we need that on a cruise ship? Really? Thought the Home Depot and Staples were enough, but that's just me. But it's fun. They're fun vacations. I like doing the more exotic. I'm a little jaded with some of the, like the Caribbean cruises. I don't know. I don't want to ruin the illusion for those of you who go. But here's my issue with the Caribbean cruise. You know when you go on a Caribbean cruise, you know how they take us around like all the different islands? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's only one island. And at night they just take the ship around the other side and change the sign. I'm telling you. Right? You've been on these things. Everyone's like, wow, these ports are like the same. Bingo. Because the cruise lines figure you're having too much fun or drinking too much to give a crap or realize they save gas money, everybody wins. But if you don't believe me, next time you go on a Caribbean cruise, wake up early when the ship is pulling into port and you'll see them out there setting up the sign. They'll be like, oh, the people, no, get not Jamaica, no, give me the Grand Cayman quickly. The people are coming, what's wrong with you? Welcome to Grand Cayman. Grand Cayman. What's wrong with you? Jamaica was yesterday. You almost messed it up, stupid. I confirmed it on my last cruise. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What are the odds of me having the same cab driver in Grand Cayman that I had 3 days earlier in Jamaica? Is that possible? Something's fishy, I tell you. Something's fishy. But they're fun. They're fun too. I like doing the more exotic cruises though. Like sometimes we go to ones that go to Europe and stuff. Those are fun because you go up, you do the Baltic or you do the Med. The Baltic's fun because we usually go to like Amsterdam and we went last time we went to Belgium. That was nice. Those waffles are awesome. Brussels sprouts, not so much. They still suck. But they do have an interesting language that they speak in Belgium called Flemish. Now, I was not aware this was a language, but I'm pretty certain my grandfather was fluent. Because all I ever heard the man say was, they made a language out of that in Belgium, apparently. Wish I could have sent Granby Dave there. He would have made some new friends. He would have loved it. So yeah, you do that, and you go up to Scandinavia and Russia. It's a nice cruise. But I like the Mediterranean is fun, too. Because the Mediterranean, you get to go to Spain, France, and Italy. I always love Italy. Italy is one of my favorites. It was weird the first time I ever went to Italy. I did not realize that apparently my New York City street Italian does not translate at all over there. I didn't know. I'm walking around trying to talk to people going, hey, paisano. I don't want you jerking me around. Capiche? They didn't know what the heck I was on. See, apparently they never got the Sopranos in Italy, I found out. But speaking of which, parts of Italy still do have that very old school, fabled mafioso feel going on. Because we took the ship down to Sicily. Sicily is like walking into the movie The Godfather. You step off the ship, you can even hear the music. It's like... The scariest part about it was there wasn't even a mandolin player anywhere in sight. Turns out it was just some weird guy going, We did France, we did Spain. I prepared for my trip to Spain. I bought this, I have this great Spanish language app on the phone that's terrific. A lot better than what I had 20-something years ago the first time I went, where all you had back then were those CDs they used to peddle on late night TV. Oh yeah, if you ever stayed up watch network TV past 1 in the morning from like the mid to late 90s, you know the ones I'm talking about. They're called amigos, and the way they teach you to speak Spanish, they have a really dorky sounding guy who gives you a word in English, then it's broken down for you phonetically and translated by the cool, suave, sophisticated sounding guy doing the same word in Spanish. So you listen to it, it's like bank, banco, discussion. Discusión. Public. Público. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? That might be helpful if people actually spoke Spanish that way. But if you travel to any one of the major Spanish-speaking countries, whether it be Spain, Mexico, Miami, you guys know, they don't speak anything of that. You put on one of those channels we have, like Telemundo or Univision, they speak like they're on speed at 300 miles an hour. To me, everything sounds like aquí. Banco. Yo comprendo el banco. See, that's the best way to learn Spanish. You don't need the apps or the CDs. Watch the Spanish channel for 2-3 weeks, you'll figure it out. Especially if you watch Spanish news. That's always the easiest to follow, because it seems like they can never get through a sentence without saying something that you will be able to recognize. You turn on, you'll see the newscasts like, Buenos asienta que su con su sobrizo contra canderezos el presidente Joe Biden. It's like, oh, hey. You know what they're talking about, the press. Yeah, I understood, because I speak Spanish now. I'll tell you, that's actually where I get all of my political news from, the Spanish channel. It is so much better when you don't understand it.
Hey, it's comedian Steven Scott here. Did you know that Dry Bar Comedy has their own app? That's right, and you can download it right now and watch my whole special. Unless you're my mom, who doesn't know how to work technology. I pushed the button, it wasn't working, I don't know what to do, so you may have to do it for somebody. But download it yourself or do it for someone else and enjoy the special.